everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the One Hope Podcast. I am your host, Aaliyah, and today I have
Jericka Brown.
And yes, so I have her here today, and we're going to have a real good conversation on today, as always. But before we get into the video, make sure that you like this video, make sure you share this video, make sure you comment down below what you would like to see going forward in the podcast. Also, make sure that you share it. Sharing is caring. Okay, we need this going everywhere, y'all. We also on YouTube, so make sure that you are checking this out and sharing it to other young adults, because we are doing really good things here at New Hope Baptist Church of Memphis.
That's all right.
And so we need you guys to share that we are doing good things here at this church, and they can see this, and they can even probably be on our episode. So make sure y'all doing your job and sharing this video or the podcast. But Jericka,
Hello.
so I wasn't here when you announced that you wanted to start ministering. So how's that conversation between you and God, like, you know, that I want to, you know, give my life to you, and that I want to, you know, I want you to use me in any way possible? How was that conversation?
Well, I just want to put out there that I absolutely did not grow up in church. And when I did go to church, I was not listening to the pastor, wasn't listening to anything like that. So I did go through a very rough time in my life around 2016, where I gained anxiety and depression. I went through a very rough time, but somebody introduced me to a certain type of church. I went the first time. That was the first time I've ever heard like a woman preach, and it was something in me that knew that that's what I was supposed to do. It was something that I could not shake at all. And then another thing is, I tried to run away from it. I'm like, okay, no, this is just not me. You know, when you start a new hobby or something like that, you think that this probably it. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is something that I think I might want to do. How I knew that it was absolutely for me was it would not leave me alone. Like, I felt uncomfortable not trying to pursue that. So I think that's kind of more so of how I knew that God was like, okay, this is it. I was kind of like Jonah, just running away, until like I just kept going through like the same stuff. God like, girl, why aren't you listening to me? This is what you're supposed to do. And so I'm just like, okay, God, I finally surrender. But it doesn't make it easy. It was very, very, very hard. And it's still hard trying to walk.
Yeah, I have, like, honestly, I ain't gonna lie. I think I have the hardest time trying to do that now. Yeah. With, like, my singing and trying to minister while singing. Because, like, I ain't gonna lie, our minister of music wants me to do more. Yeah. Solos and things like that. And so it's just like, how could I get into it of ministering? Because, like, sometimes I can't minister to you and I don't know what I'm doing myself.
And I think that's more so what it is. We get so caught up in our head and we think that it's us that's actually doing it. Yes. So I think that's me too, is what am I going to say? How am I going to say it? How can I get them to relate to me? Right. And then, but again, that's me more so thinking like, okay, I'm in control. Right. And I think once we take ourselves out of it, okay, like, God, whatever you want to do, just do it. Right. Just do it through me. Once we actually surrender fully and like not depend on ourselves, I think that's when we can more so do what he called us to do and stop being inside of our own heads.
Because I feel like that's where we find where our generation is lacking. It's just with allowing God to use us. Because when I was saying in the episode with Ashley, I was saying that I think we are kind of finding it hard to be faithful. Yeah. And to step into it and just, you know, give God our 100%, because I ain't gonna lie, it is kind of hard. Yeah. It's like you want to be for God, you want to live for God, you want to do everything, but then you have all these outside things that's like, okay, you know, you little taste of me, you be like, wait a minute. But it's just like, I feel like it's so hard within our generation, especially with, you know, social media, and then you got everything else going on. So, in what possible way do you think that could change, or what way would, you know, would help others who are trying to get into, stepping into their calling, whatever God is having or wanting them to do or to be. Because it may be somebody who's sitting there and wants to be on a media team, but scared to talk to somebody about, how to do it. Because honestly, with the podcast, I find it very hard. I'm trying to, I don't know. Me and Zach have arguments all the time about it, but it's just me trying to give it all that I got, because I have all these other things and all these other distractions that's going on, and I really want to give my 100%, because before I let Zach do what he needed to do for the editing, I was the only one editing the episodes and doing things like that. But I kind of found it like where I had to take a step back and be like, okay, this is what you're supposed to do. But how do you keep it consistent? How do you keep gaining the courage to keep going when it's like, man, I don't know if I want to keep going?
I can definitely say, even with me saying like, hey, ministry is for me. Come on now. I say, remembering why you decided to agree to the calling in the first place, because we do have a choice. We do have a choice if we want to serve God, or if we want to walk in our calling, or if we don't. Remember the why. Okay, so why did you decide that you wanted to be in media? Because XYZ. And so for my why it's like, I know that it's something inside of me that God wants out. So my way has never worked. My way serving, and I can tell you I had 1,000,002 jobs, and none of them has made me feel the way that serving God has. It doesn't matter what it is. It's like, I can sweep the floor, okay, in the sanctuary, or I can just give, or whatever it is, but it's like a feeling that is like indescribable. And if you keep that feeling like, I'm serving God, like I know that this is what God is, if you just remember your why, I think that people would be more consistent, and just like, and also surrendering. Like, don't get inside of your head. Like, we look at other churches and we think that it could be helping when it's really intimidating you and making you worse.
Right.
So I can look at another pastor and be like, oh wow, like she's just so amazing and I want to be that. But instead of me looking as her as a role model, I'm looking at her thinking that I have to be an exact clone and replica of her.
Exactly.
So I would say not more so focusing on social media, because God is a trend right now. Everybody want to say they love God. Everybody want to say, oh God, they want to post a scripture. They want to put it in their bio. But are you actually living that way? So I think that's kind of what it is. It's like staying true to you and your why and what you know that God called you to do. And support groups. Hello, girl. Come on. You can be with me.
Right.
Finding that support group that's gonna support you and say, girl, keep going. Aside from God. Because it's always important to have your personal relationship. You're talking to God, but you will need somebody else to support you. So finding your group, finding your people that's not just, and I think you have your people, to just keep pushing you and pushing you and pushing you. And if you don't have that people, then you can come to New Hope. I guarantee you'll have those.
Oh, yeah. It's good that you said that, because honestly, I do find my strength in Zach, Ashley, and Brandon, for real. Like, aside of everything else, we literally on our phone calls at night, it just be like hectic. But like, honestly, when it all boils down to it, I really find my strength in, I don't want to cry because y'all,
don't cry. It's okay.
But I really do find my strength in Zach, Ashley, and Brandon, because they are literally like the people that pushes me. And I know, like, me and Zach butt heads a lot, but I know Zach honestly wants the best for me. And it's just, like I said, right now it's just hard, because I feel like I can do media 110, like all the way through. I can quit my job and do media, but I'd be like, it's just the point of faith, of trying to step out on faith and be like, okay, God, I got this car note, I got rent, I got groceries, I gotta find a way to feed myself. How am I gonna, quit my job, my everyday job that's bringing in what I needed to bring in order for me to step out on faith to do what you are calling me to do? That's where I'm like finding the hardest
I would say, because for me, I'm married, I have a child, I'm now a full-time student, and I have a full-time job, and I still have to try to do God's calling. So I would say, first, we're going to make sure that God said quit that job before we quit the job. Right. Now, we ain't going to say we're going to walk out on faith and we ain't heard from God. God going to be like, hey, girl, that's you. Exactly. I ain't telling you to do that. Exactly. But actually set a time for it. Just like we set a time for everything. Set a time to write, plan out whatever you want to do with media. Like you have your meetings with Zach now, make sure that it doesn't go over a certain amount of time that will make you tired or that will make you sleepy or where you can't show up in another area of your life. But you do have to just make sure that you set that time, that untouchable time. So even if it's like early in the morning time, okay, God, this is going to be our time. This is going to, because until God actually tells you to like go and quit your job and do this, we still have to figure out how can we put that time in so you just won't be burned out all the time. Right. So sticking to it. You ain't got to be 2 hours on the phone with them. Right. Just an hour on the phone and get the points of what you need. And then what do you need? What do you need in order to make sure that you're able to give the media 110% along with working? Right. So prioritizing, I think, and sometimes it's kind of hard, especially people will say I'm boring, you don't do nothing. People want me to go out and drink and do all this type of stuff, but honestly that's just not aligned with what I'm doing now. And also I like a good show. I like Netflix, I like watching movies, but I do have to prioritize it as well. So I think once we kind of ask God for that balance, I think we'll be able to make it work until God do tell us to quit that job. Right. Because I'm sure waiting on him to tell me to quit mine. I'm telling you, it's too much. It's too much.
I feel like just being able to balance everything. Because honestly, I'm just finding the hardest time trying to. Because maybe like tomorrow, I gotta be there at 9:30 because I have to do overtime. So it's like doing overtime from 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. and then by the time I get off at 6 p.m., I got somewhere else to be. So it's just like, okay, I gotta find a way to like get the time that I need to go ahead and, okay, I can go ahead and edit and do this and, you know, spend my time doing that. I just found I'm really trying to find it where I can balance it, because I suck. Yeah. I suck at that. I suck at balancing money. It's horrible. I'm telling you.
It's okay. But definitely bring it, and sometimes we may feel like that we shouldn't bring God into everything because we think, oh, this is just so small. I should be able to figure this out. Right. Invite him in there. God, can you please help me to find a balance with my work life? Can you please help me with my finances? And he'll make a way. And then we also got to open up the Bible. We also got to open it up because it's right there.
So that's the thing with that. Yeah. Going into another
Come on. It's fine.
I don't find it hard to read the Bible. I just don't know where to start, because I bought this Bible off Amazon and it's been sitting in my little library of books. And I'm just like, okay. One of my cousins was like, oh, start with what'd she say? Start with Matthew. I was like, oh, why am I starting in the middle of the book? Like, and I'm going to start at the beginning. But she was like, you have to know who God is first before you can go. And I was like, okay, so that makes sense. But like, how do I, and that's why I think Bible study is important. Yeah. Because you gotta, in order for you to learn, see, I done had a new revelation.
It's okay. Amen. But I would say two things when it comes to the Bible. I would say find something specific. Like, let's say, I don't know, whatever issue that you're having inside of your life. Put it inside of your either you can put it in Google, you can put depression inside of Google, right? And or even on your app you can put in depression, and then you can start with the scriptures and then start reading that chapter on what it says about depression or that person that went through depression. Or either you, this is just me, either you can just start reading in specifics of what you're going through, or just literally pick a book, because you literally will have to go through every single book. Like, you can get something from every single book. So that's a trick too. Because if you be thinking like, dang, where do I need to start? I mean, I don't want to start. It's pick a book and just start. Because the more we kind of debate on what we need to start, we won't.
Right.
And if I honestly feel like we gotta read all of it anyway. So just pick
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And just start with it.
See, yeah. This just gave me a new revelation. I need to go to Bible study because.
I mean, we all do.
I'm telling you, because like I've been trying to figure out ways. I done got like this little Bible study book, and it was like, oh, how to learn the Bible and I'm like, okay.
And you know what? I think it's like this false perception that we have on how we're supposed to get to know God. And I think when we are in church, you got one person over here telling you, well, you need to do this. And then you got another person say, well, I do it like this and I do it like that. And that could kind of affect our own personal relationship.
Right.
So I definitely think that we should start keeping our relationship and our readings kind of private into ourselves. Because I don't want to be intimidated or feel like less than because I'm not reading more than Ashley is.
Right.
Or I don't get what Ashley a certain way that we supposed to show up when we all gonna come to God a different way. So I don't want you to be like, oh, well, I just can't get it. You got a different way than what I would have.
Right.
So we all got different relationships with our daddy. So that's what I would say.
And I felt like I just want to be able to interpret the Bible.
You will. Look, it's different versions.
Like, for real. And I think it's the King James version I got. I'm just like, okay, I need to find something else that's gonna. But I'm looking. I'm searching.
And baby, let me tell you something. Let me show you right now. Show you right now.
Man, that's just
listen. Because I'm telling you, and even if you don't want to decide to even do it on you, because me personally, I gotta listen. I'm not that.
The reading
I be about to, the spirit just overtake me. I just fall asleep. I mean, sometimes I see. But you can listen to it. But even on the Bible app, you got different apps. You got different ones. You got the NIV or NLT, whichever one. But you just find which version that works best for you. Listen.
I got you.
Find what works for you.
I got you. I will definitely look into that because I tell you, I just be like, but I have to, like I said, I have to set the time to do that because like time management is work.
Now I would say when you're at work, invite God into that. Like it could be times where we stroll on our phone, be in the Bible. But I know it's hard because even for me, it's like, I really want to get inside the Bible, or do I want to scroll on TikTok? So that's why I also think fasting is very important too, to kind of fight that flesh off. Yeah. Definitely.
That's probably what I need to do too.
Yeah.
I need to do that. But this has been another episode of the One Hope Podcast, you guys. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this. We're gonna have to get her on here a little bit more because she got a word.
Okay.
She got a word.
Praise
and
Jesus.
We're gonna get her on here for sure. But like I said, share this video, share what we are doing here at New Baptist Church in Memphis, y'all. We are doing really great things. We have so many things coming up. Tell the people about she just told us about this event that she's getting ready to do. Yeah. On May 18th. I remembered. Yeah. Go ahead and tell the people.
All right. So I am a part of a women's ministry, a women's community, and it's called Boss Up Your Faith. We will be having a meet and greet on May 18th. We will be crying, worshiping, and there will be a panel. So if you are interested, please let me know. I will give the information to Aaliyah and she will drop it down. But I do believe the times is 3 to 6, and it will be here at New Hope. So just let me know if you guys are interested in it.
Like I said, let her know. I'll let y'all know. And we're going to let everybody know. Okay? Yes. We're going to get this out there. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you guys in next week's episode. And I hope to hear back from you as well. Make sure you get your feedback. See you guys. Peace.